So first of all, NATO, it's a military alliance. It was established after the end of the Second World War by about a dozen member nations. And its purpose at that time was to act as a kind of counterweight to Soviet armies that were spreading out across Eastern Europe. In the intervening years, its mission has vastly expanded. It now does cyber training, large-scale military exercises, disaster relief, and indeed combat. Not quite across everywhere in the world, but in the Middle East, in the Horn of Africa, and elsewhere. It also now has 32 member nations, still the United States, Canada, Britain, and indeed Denmark. But here's the real rub of the issue. Essentially, one of the founding provisions of the NATO treaty, it's called Article 5, states that an attack by one member nation against another member nation should be considered an attack against everyone. And so while the Trump administration has been quite clear that its preferred method for getting Greenland is some kind of deal or a negotiation, it's also not ruling out a military operation. And so were that to happen, theoretically, we could have a scenario where Article 5, it would not be clear how Article 5 could be invoked, because you'd have one member nation attacking another member nation, and that's not a scenario that the founders of NATO ever envisioned. So that's why in recent weeks, months really, there's been just an avalanche of European officials sort of making alarming noises about, well, essentially, were Trump to take Greenland by force, it would effectively make NATO defunct and it would dissolve. Now, the White House says that that's essentially not true, but it's a curious kind of scenario where there are competing rights and a bowl of confusion as to what would happen.